Hey guys, this is a quick little trick, if you will, to generate a set of random chords. So if you're kind of looking for a starting point, or if you have a creative block and you just want to get some chords going, you can use this trick. The thing is, when I say random chord, what I mean is I don't mean like you have a set of chords like this over here and then pick a few of them randomly. I don't mean that. What I mean is like if you take a scale or a mode and then randomly pick two or three notes out of that scale or mode, what you have conceptually is a chord. So this is what I'm calling as a random chord. And if you use JavaScript for this and generate a set of chords repeatedly, you're bound to come up with some progression that kind of sounds decent enough to act as a starting point to lay your music on top of. Or if you're just jamming and if you want some chords playing on the background from a particular scale, yeah, it can act for that as well. Let's just get started with, for this we're going to use Scribbletune, and I'm going to create a file called chords.js. We'll open that file alongside, and I've already installed Scribbletune and Lodash. We're going to use Lodash for its sample size method, and we'll get to that in a bit. JS, midgen, and tonal.js are just dependencies of Scribbletune. Okay, so we're going to bring in Scribbletune like this. I'm not using import export, directly using require because I don't want to transpile. Then I'm going to bring in Lodash. Okay, we're going to start the set of notes. This can be as simple as scribble.scale, and maybe we can bring in the major scale. Year 4 implies the octave, it could very well be 3. Basically, it's a scale that we're bringing as a set of notes, and then we're going to pick 2 or 3 notes randomly from this set of notes. We'll also create a pattern, and that pattern can look like this. Please take a look at the pattern documentation on scribbletune.com. Basically, this underscore is kind of multiplying the duration for each of the preceding x. So for example, x is a quarter note. Adding these 3 underscores makes this whole thing a whole note. Okay, so we're going to repeat this like 4 times. So now we have a pattern of 4 times this. So at this point, it's quite evident that there are going to be 4 x's in this pattern. But if this pattern was kind of intricate, something like this, and then for whatever reason you repeated this for like 14 times, now it's not so evident. Yeah, you can multiply 14 into the number of x's over here, but this could get even more complicated. And so just to programmatically reach the count, what we'll do is we'll create a count variable which simply replaces all the non-x characters from the string, like non-x replaces with the empty string and then captures its length. So now we know for sure how many x's are in any pattern, and we'll iterate over this count for let I is equal to 0, I is less than count I plus plus. Now what we're going to do is for each of the occurrences of x, we are going to generate a random chord, and we're going to place it inside a new variable called notes, which we will pass to scribble.clip later on. So this notes, we're going to just push in notes.push. We're going to push in a couple of notes randomly from this set of notes that we defined over here, and we're going to use Lodash for that. We're going to use the sample size method of Lodash, and within that it accepts the first parameter to be the array that you want to use. So I'm going to use the set of notes array, and I'm going to pick out maybe 2 notes to start with. That seems fine, and I'm going to push them into this notes array. So I think that's pretty much it. Now if we just generate a MIDI out of this, and the MIDI parameter of Scribbletune accepts a clip parameter, which we can create like this. And in here we can set up the notes and the pattern. That's it, I guess. So now if we try this out quickly, it generated a MIDI file called music.mid. I'm going to head over to Ableton Live, where I see this music.mid generated. I'm going to grab that in one of these channels where I have a instrument setup. As you can see, it has generated these random chords. So this E and this F, so these two are kind of going to clash with each other. So what I'm going to do is, before I can play it, I'm going to just generate it one more time. Since this is random, it'll change a bit. Oops, it's node chords.js. That's the name of the file. Generate another file. So this file is going to have a slight difference. So as you can see, it is a bit different than the earlier one. And if I play this out, yeah, and if I keep generating more, it'll have a slight variation. It'll still use the C major scale. Yeah, pretty soothing stuff, right? And we can change the scale. Maybe we can go for C3 Lydian. And what we'll do is we'll also increase the set of notes. We'll have a different set of notes, a wide range, if you will. So what it's doing is it's taking the, let's say, the second octave and maybe the fourth octave of the C Lydian scale. Now that is a set of notes, and instead of picking up 2 notes, we'll pick up 3 notes. Yeah, what the hell? And then generate the random chords again. This MIDI file, we'll just bring it in. As you can see, it has now taken 3 notes each with a range from these 2 octaves. And if we play that out, yeah, and you can increase the count, like if you want some amount of variation. So I made it to 8. Now let's generate that again and bring it in. Yeah, so that's about it, and you can obviously make some more variations around here. You can change the pattern a little bit, try out different scales, and see where it goes. So I hope you enjoyed this, and this can be obviously done in the browser as well. So I want to just quickly show you an example where it's done in the browser. Now if you want to read through the script, it's right here, and at the same time I've got this little UI thing going, and since it's using the browser API for the sound stuff, it might not play, the quality might not be so good, but at least you can kind of play around with this whole thing, and in the browser itself before trying out the script yourself. The script is right here. I would encourage you to try the script yourself, come up with some variations of your own, and hopefully this will kind of act as a starting point for generating some chords or something. Yeah, that's it. And you can visit the documentation for the clip method that we used today, and also the MIDI method that we used. So I hope you enjoyed this thing. Subscribe to my channel if you like. I'm going to be creating more videos, of course. And yeah, have fun making music. Bye bye.